Hi, Rob.
Hey Scott, how are you today?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Where are you located?
I'm in South Florida, actually, kind of in the area of investors. Pitch.
Ah, okay. I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay, great. So you're getting your weather's probably about the same as ours, maybe a little bit drier.
Just a little bit drier.
Yeah. So yeah, excited to appreciate the time and excited to talk about Alumni Direct and where we're going as a company. And it's basically a social network that's been created by alumni for alumni.
Mhm.
And we with Alumni Direct, I guess we wanted to create kind of a LinkedIn meets Facebook, but specifically geared towards college and university alumni. Because when you look at those LinkedIn and Facebook, there's definitely aspects where you can get involved with that stuff, but we want to gear it right into where people can do everything. They can, partner together in their businesses. They can do things with job opportunities. So my background, I've been in sales and marketing for many years, and I'm really passionate about networking and helping people. So about 10 years ago, I got involved in my alumni club. I went to University of Delaware, and my alumni club in South Florida. And I know with you, I saw you went to Penn State.
Mhm.
When you're far away from your university, there's a certain affinity when you meet different people that went to university, and you kind of gravitate towards them. So I joined the alumni club and ultimately was the president of the alumni club. And it was more of a kind of a social type thing where we'd have 5, 6 events a year. People would go out there and they would, they talk about their experience and how they enjoyed it. But I'm a businessman and my partners are as well. We wanted to create kind of like where you go to BNI, but we wanted to create a network of alumni working together, partnering together, and helping each other out. And that's where Alumni Direct was created. And what we've done is to create this affinity community where people can work together. Now, my experience, and we've done a lot of research on this as we've gone out to talk to people that went to different schools. Most of the time, when you ask them what was your alumni experience or what is it with alumni relations, they kind of stick their hand out and say, that's all the university does is they're pressuring us for money. They want donations, which is understandable because they do need that. But we wanted to kind of create that safe environment where people can work together and not have that pressure. So within our environment, we're kind of geared towards creating individual communities. So right now we're live. We've been live since January. We do have 2 communities out there, one for Delaware, one for FIU. But with these communities, we have an alumni directory, so people can go out and they see, other people that are in their area. They can see the geographical area. They can see what types of businesses these people do.
Hey,
Uh,
Rob.
sure,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, real quick. You said Delaware and what?
FIU.
Okay, got it.
Florida International.
Yep.
And it's something that, we can turn on communities at any moment. We're trying to, as we gear a certain amount of alumni, we'll create another community for that school. So whether it be, again, a Penn State, a Florida State, Ohio State. So we also have a section for jobs. And this is something that's important as when you go to talk to career services at a university, typically they'll help juniors and seniors, but they don't help the alumni. So if you're out there for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, you don't get the help that you need. So here, people can post jobs for free, and they can go out and help other alumni. I know from my standpoint, if I was interviewing, say, 5 people with the same credentials, if one was Delaware, I'd hire the Delaware person. We also have an area for advertising businesses, and this is something that kind of started on my end. Is that I wanted to promote my marketing print business to other alumni to see how I can help them and also help them with their businesses.
Okay.
There's another section that we have on alumni stories. People love to hear about what alumni are doing today. We have an event section, and this is important because I don't know with your club experience, but with ours, Alumni Association, as I mentioned, we have 5 or 6 events, and they're posted. But there's when you're in a region, especially like us, as big as South Florida, there's the opportunity to have meetups and networking, maybe watching sporting events, watching other things, live streaming. So we wanted to create that where they could post their events. And I think finally, one of the most important areas is value. Is how do we give value back to alumni? So we have alumni perks and exclusive offers, and within this section, we have one area that's kind of a high-end entertainment club where people can go out and they can get your everyday savings on whether it be travel or electronics or hospitality. But we've partnered with strategic partners in different areas, looking at finance and medical technology. One of the partners that we have right now is in the student loan refinancing space, and that's a major issue right now today with people coming out of college and having these large student loans. So with these partners, they get the different value, for that. So what's exciting to us is the market size. So right now there's over 100 million alumni in the U.S. And there's over 4,000 colleges and universities. So there's a big opportunity for us to help many alumni. It's kind of like what we found, and going back to what I talked about before with the schools, is some schools, the Ivy League schools, if you were in a fraternity or sorority, they do a great job of helping each other out. But what we found is probably, I don't know exact number, but it could be 95% of the other schools really just don't have the bandwidth to do that. So that's what we want to do, is we want to create that environment where we become that fraternity or sorority. We'd ultimately like to be kind of like the AARP or the USAA for alumni. So that's what we're looking at. Our revenue model right now is several. One is a subscription-based model. We have both a free membership as well as a paid membership. We also, I mentioned the strategic partners. So we have the affinity partnerships where, through the links on our site, as people go out to these different partners that we have, there's a revenue stream coming back to us as well. Another area is advertising. So I mentioned before, for me, is to be able to advertise my business to alumni. It's something that, if you look at alumni, you might give it a shot if you see an alumni business. I mean, maybe you do, maybe you don't buy that product or service, but at least you'll look at it because it's from an alumni. And then the last area that we're looking at is data enhancement. And, obviously we know how important data is today. So we partnered with a database company. They have about 1.7 billion names in their data union. And what we're utilizing that for is there's a lot of information out there related to not only their name, their emails, but what they're doing for their careers, the jobs they're at. It's valuable information, not only for us as far as a targeted marketing standpoint, but also when you look at universities and even alumni businesses, what we can do for them to offer us a service is that they give us their database. We can then take that database and bounce it against ours and create value back to them. So that's what we're looking at all told. And from an ask standpoint, we've looked at over to right now we had on the pitch, we put 245,000. We've talked more about even looking at a 2-year strategy, we're looking more about 550,000. And really what we're utilizing that money for, one would be to bring one of our partners on full time, but also looking at our marketing engagement, technology, continuing to build on the site that we have, but in addition, create a mobile app, which we know is big in the market there. So that's kind of the big picture look at Alumni Direct, and we're just real excited about getting out there and helping as many alumni as possible.
So between 245 and 550 is what you're looking for?
Yeah.
And at what valuation?
We started out, we had we're still working on that because we're revenue based now. There's some revenue that we've got, but it's kind of early, and we can definitely talk to you more offline and get that information to you.
Okay. So I heard you say it was early. What stage are you actually in? Do you have product already built, or?
Yeah, we've gone through. We had an initial MVP. Now we're live.
Okay.
So we have a live site. We have, as I mentioned, the two. Anybody, like, you can sign up today by going to myalumnidirect.com. You can sign up today. So there's a master directory, and then, as I mentioned, the two communities where there's a lot more value to it. So what we're trying to do now is get out on social media. We've hired a person to come on and start creating more of a message for us on Facebook and LinkedIn, Twitter. Also doing email marketing campaigns. We've created some landing pages. So to this point, our marketing efforts, have not been as much, and we're really gearing towards it now. And that's where we're looking to, put a good portion of the funding.
Okay. All right. We don't have much time here. One of the things I'll bring up to you, and you may know these folks already, but are you familiar with the venture firm up in Boston called Alumni Ventures?
No, I'm not.
I would recommend you take a look at them and reach out to those guys.
Okay.
That's basically, their venture fund and what they've raised in multiple funds now is really geared towards alumni-based items and
Okay.
products. So
Okay.
that might be very useful for you.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd definitely like to look. You know, we had initial investments from private investors when we started, and that's what helped build the site. But we've talked to various people. We have some people in hedge fund space and all that have been trying to direct us to, you know, some different types of investors or banking that can help us out. But I'd love to check them out.
Yeah. What have you raised so far?
We raised 50,000 from the initial private, and then we've self-funded probably somewhere around 35,000.
So 50 from friends and family, basically.
Yeah, and then our own money, but like an
Yeah.
additional 35.
Okay. All right. Perfect. We're out of time here, but I appreciate that. And I'm assuming that you're obviously on LinkedIn, so I can reach out to you there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to have further the conversation with you and you know,
Exactly.
talk some more.
There's probably some things that you want to do offline.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Appreciate the time.
All right. Take care. Bye.
You too. Bye bye.